No blacks, no Jews, no gays. High up in the Ozark Hills in the state of Arkansas, dozens of people have been working hard, building houses and a new type of community. It's called Return to the Land, and it is a town open to white people only.
Now, watching this video, I'm struck by how good of an idea this is. Yes, let's quarantine racists to the woods, and they can just live in a seasoning-free zone, and they can just live out their bland, bigoted existence without bothering me. I like this. These white folks say they're done with everybody. They don't want no soul food, no salsa, no Szechuan chicken. They don't want no catfish, gefilte fish. They don't want no hummus. They don't want no naan bread. No, they want venison, boiled goose, and bratwurst. That's the extent of the palate you finna get in this town. So, in Return to the Land, you taking all kinds of races. I hope you take the covert races too, because man, I'm having a hard time sifting out who's who. Because if all the kinds of racists is there, I know that the white folks who's left is actually cool. I mean, this is so good for them undercover haters because they can get out my comment section pretending to be objective and actually live free to be who they really are among folks just like them. I can hear the real estate commercials now. Tired of black folks knocking you the fuck out because you thought the N-word was for everybody? Return to the land. Tired of those pesky immigrants building your houses and picking your fruit? Well, now you can deport yourself if you return to the land. Tired of those men in drag reading books to your kids that aren't the Bible? Well, now you can cross-dress with other repressed Christian cowboys in your very own Brokeback Mountain. Just return to the land.
Oh, so fabulous.
Hi guys, welcome back to the channel once again. It's your girl Dumebi. So you guys already saw the video that I played in the beginning, and this is one topic that I was kind of excited to do because what the heck is happening? What the hell? You know, so it's been all over social media. They've had a lot of media coverage. People have been talking about it, almost like they want it to be a topic. You know, it's not hidden. They want everybody to know about it. And I am happy hearing about this. You know, this white-only town in Arkansas, a group of white people who decide they want to live off the land. I don't even know what that means. I guess that means you want to grow your own food and all of that. So basically, you're segregated from the rest of the world, and you have rules saying that you don't want any black person, Jewish or gay or homosexual people in the community. And believe me, I was surprised when I heard some of the requirements to become part of this white-only town.
This is Return to the Land, a group of millennials who organised online to build something radical and controversial. A town for white people only, that they insist is completely legal. We spent several days with them, watching as the men set about the physical labour of building out the site. All the while, the women of the group took on the more typically trad, homesteading-type roles.
I guess I found the people through Twitter that ended up starting this project, actually spearheading it, and I went out to the first April event last year, and it was really fun.
The sort of white-only aspect of this, how important is that to you guys?
Given the premise that it's something that is kind of off limits for whites but is okay by implication for other groups, I do feel it's necessary to carve that out, and you kind of have to do it yourself.
It's kind of like if we don't do this, the laws are only getting worse as far as freedom of association goes, so it's kind of like we have to do this, or there might come a time where it's not possible to.
Yeah, you guys are aware sort of, you know, people are going to be watching, it's going to be controversial.
I think people just have a large misunderstanding of what's happening here.
Yeah?
Yeah.
What's the biggest misunderstanding?
Well, that we hate everyone else. Like, yeah, it's not about that by any means.
It's a loving movement.
I mean, on that aspect of it being loving, I suppose the counter-argument would be, you could be a very loving community if you're part of the community, but if you're black, if you're Jewish, or if you're gay, you can't be part of that community.
They can have their own communities, and they already do, and I think that's great for them. It's like if other people are allowed to do it, we don't really see why whites aren't allowed to do it. It doesn't make any sense. So it's important for me to do this for my ancestors, my friends, my family, my children, my children's children.
The leader, Eric Orwell, wants the community to grow and further what he calls traditional white American culture. And the group is explicit about this. It has an online fundraiser to give cash rewards to parents of newborns as a means to incentivize population growth. Just before we arrived, they donated $1,000 to a family for having their 6th child.
No black, no gay, and no Jewish people. That is the rule in this white-only town being built in Arkansas. Nope, this isn't 1950. It's happening right now in 2025 in the Ozarks. A group called Return to the Land has built what they proudly call a whites-only community on 160 acres in the Ozarks. They've got cabins, roads, fences, wells, community center, and even a private schoolhouse, all for people who pass their strict racial and cultural tests. To live there, you must be white with European ancestry, straight, Christian, and you cannot be black, Jewish, LGBTQ, or follow a non-European religion. They vet applicants with video interviews, and some are even asked to prove their ancestry. The founders, Eric Orwell and Peter Sears, say that they want to create a, quote, fortress for the white race. In their own words, you want a white nation, build a white town. Now, here's the thing. They're calling it a private membership association to dodge federal housing laws. Basically, they sell membership shares through a company called Wisdom Woods LLC. And rather than traditional deeds, which they claim makes them exempt from anti-discrimination laws like the Fair Housing Act. And shockingly, well, maybe not, there's already 40 people living on the site and hundreds more worldwide are applying. They say they have things like goat herding, homeschool programs, flute recitals, and even a white baby bounty, basically rewarding white females for having more children. And I saw one of their interviews, and even their dog is white. And get this, they're not stopping in Arkansas. They've already announced plans to expand into Missouri near Springfield. Now, civil rights groups like the NAACP and Anti-Defamation League and state officials are calling it what it is, a modern-day experiment in segregation, racism, and legal loopholes. Arkansas's Attorney General is investigating, but as of right now, this community is still operating, still growing, and still recruiting. This isn't just a hate group in the woods, you guys. It's a test case to see if they can build a future where civil rights laws don't apply, as long as they call it private. This is insane.
So I was so fascinated by the whole idea of having a whole white-only town. And apparently, this is new, and a lot of other white people are applying to even come and join, and who knows, it might even spread just beyond the state of Arkansas. And can we even take a moment to picture the kind of people who want to go and live in an exclusively white town? You guys, they are taking whole tests to prove how European you are, to be sure that you have pure European ancestry. I also hear that they are even giving people cash rewards for having kids of a certain number, I believe. So I guess that suggests that they are encouraging people to have kids and probably increase the population of palm color people, because everybody knows, it's not a secret that there is a general fear that their numbers are going down, and very soon some of these, in quote, minority communities in America may have more population than them. So they want to do something about it. I'm just wondering the kind of mindset that a person has to want to live in a place like that. And I'm seeing in the comments, palm color people being like, yeah, we're not the first to do it. I mean, look at South Africa. They have Orania, which is a white-only town there in South Africa.
Welcome to Orania, a remote farming town in South Africa's Northern Cape. It prints its own money, runs its own banks, has its own holidays, and manages its own affairs. Sounds like the perfect township to relocate.
And also there are some legal loopholes that they are bypassing that makes it legal for them to do this, because civil rights made segregation illegal in the US. But with these legal loopholes that they have, they're able to do this legally one way or another. And to think that some people even feel that black people are bothered about this is laughable to me.
Ever notice that when black people build an all-black neighborhood, it's called empowerment? But when white people build an all-white neighborhood, all of a sudden they're the triple K. You want to move away from white people because it's healing, but when we do the same thing, all of a sudden it's a problem. Sounds like the real problem isn't segregation. It's the fact that you're not the one controlling it. Y'all don't want equality, y'all want reverse Jim Crow. So when white people move in, it's gentrification. When they move out, it's called white flight. Wonder where all this energy was for Freedom, Georgia. These people don't want to live next to white people, but the second we make our own communities, then it's hate. Black-only schools are okay, apparently. Black-only neighborhoods is progress. Black-only events is culture. But the second it's white-only anything, these people just want to run, cancel it, burn it down. So segregation is only fine when you invent it? Yeah, it doesn't look like they hate racism. Looks like they just hate not being the ones in control. White people are only the devil until you need clean streets and tax-funded schools. They say that they want inclusion, but every single time that we make something for ourselves, they swarm like flies. And let's be so for real, if white people vanished tomorrow, you wouldn't have anybody else to blame. No one else to beg, just you and your own results. If white people did 10% of what y'all do, it would be considered a hate crime. But when they do it, it's called a movement. Yeah, no, sorry, we just just learned how to play your own game.
Are we seriously mad about people wanting to have a whites-only community? Let's not forget the fact that we always label things black own this and black own that. So a white man, Eric Alwal, wanted to establish his own town for his own people, white people. He wanted to control who he had as neighbors. His goal is to preserve the purity of his culture and traditions. So what are we mad for? Let's not forget, a couple years ago, Ashley Scott and Renee Walters got together and created their own community, their own black community. They wanted to create generational wealth and keep their legacy and culture. So I'm confused. What's the problem when the white people want to do it? And I know what you're going to say. You're going to try to bring up history and that victimization mentality. We're not doing that. We are not doing that. That happened many years ago. We're talking about now. We're not going to continue to bring up the past. At one point, we did have Black Wall Street. And yes, it was destroyed. However, we had the ability to rebuild and we didn't. We were defeated. So we're not going to continue to play the victim. This is a voluntary self-segregation, not a forced one. Get over it.
Have you been on the internet? Have you seen the videos by black people? If anything, a lot of our people are ecstatic because we have been complaining about the rate to desist palm color people. Now, it is not every palm color person that is rate to desist, but those that don't like black people and go out of their way to make it known that they do not like black people, it would be such a relief if they take themselves to this other side, this white only town, and stay there with other people that look like them. But you can see black people also saying that when they are going there, they should not take any of the inventions by black people. They should not take any soul food. They should not take any music created by black people and all of that. It's quite funny. But on a large scale, there is no black person that is offended by this. If anything, black people are pointing out the hypocrisy of them wanting to go and be on their own and make a white-only town. When the times black people have actually tried this historically, it was met with doom. And doom at the hands of these very people that will now want to go and create a white-only town.
I need y'all to understand that those people do not intend to leave us alone in their little town in Arkansas. It's recently been in the news that some chalk children in America have decided to create their own whites-only town. And when asked by a reporter, they made it seem as though that they intend to just have a town of their own and resources of their own and just live off the land, returning to the land. A land that they stole through crimes against humanity, but who's counting? Many brothers and sisters' take on this is, hey, we don't care if y'all have your own, just leave us alone in the process. I mean, every time we've tried to do that, y'all have burned our towns down. And I'm just here to tell y'all that unfortunately, they do not intend to leave us alone. In the interview with the colonizer that wants to found this whites-only town in Arkansas, they're making it seem as though they just want to live in peace. We must remember that these are people that have never known peace. They didn't know peace when they was by themselves in the ice-cold mountains of Europe, and they're not going to know peace in the middle of Arkansas. In the 70s, there was a black scholar that broke down white supremacy into an equation. The same way that E equals MC squared, white supremacy equals white power over non-white powerlessness. And so that means that white supremacy cannot live in an environment where non-white people have any form of power. Because if there's no non-white people around, who are they superior to? Nothing they have achieved has been achieved by leaving people alone. It's like if your son or daughter said they didn't want to live in the house anymore and lock themselves in their room. In order to eat, brush their teeth, or do anything, that child would have to come outside the room. And it's the same thing for them. At some point, they are going to need resources and labor, and that's when they turn to us. And if we have our own power and our own resources, then we have no reason to share with them. And that is when they destroy what we have so that we have to work with them. Don't be fooled. Just like the movie Sinners, it all starts out nice and pleasant, but they have ulterior motives.
I see more white folks worried about that white-only town than black folks. Video after video, I'm seeing, oh my God, y'all, they're being a whites-only town in Arkansas. Did y'all see they're building that white-only town? What are we going to do? Nothing. We're not going to do a damn thing. Baby, Mother Nature will take its course. Black folks ain't worried about that shit, because 9 times out of 10, they don't believe in vaccination. They don't believe in doctors. They barely can cook. The children gonna have father uncles. It's gonna become a cult. They're gonna find a passage in the Bible so one person can become the full leader. And baby, we're gonna have Waco all over again. Natural selection will take its course. Let them white folks build their shit. See, the thing is, they're building their stuff out of hate, no matter what they say. When black people built their community, it was for love. It was for protection. It was so we could have something to pass down. White folks have this whole country to pass down. They said they want to preserve their culture. I don't know what kind of culture they preserve. I saw them playing a flute. Hell, even the dog is white. Let them have that shit.
Now in the state of Arkansas, they are building a whites-only town. And before you get all upset, realize what a gift and a blessing that is. That the trash essentially takes itself out. That if people feel that strongly that they don't want to live near any marginalized folks, farewell. and enjoy. If you're willing to build a community from the literal ground up, just to avoid seeing people who don't look like you, don't love like you, and don't worship like you, have at it. You're doing us a favor. But I was thinking about that the idea of a literal construction of a sundown town is happening in 2025, and how those people feel emboldened and empowered to do so, but that sundown towns are nothing new. There's a long history of whites-only communities in the United States. And sure, for maybe the last 30, 40 years, it's been seen really taboo to say this is whites only, that folks who wanted whites-only communities had to do so in really sneaky ways, try to legislate out or price out people of marginalized identities. I also find it very ironic that when Black folks specifically were building our own neighborhoods, after liberating ourselves from human trafficking, centuries-long human trafficking, and having to scrape up an existence to construct some beautiful places, safe places for us. Those places, like Seneca Village, were literally legislated away, or they were drowned, like Oscarville, or they were burned to the ground, like Rosewood, or they were mercilessly raided and bombed, like Greenwood in Tulsa. That there is a long history of destroying Black communities, whether it's through legislation, destruction, or now gentrification. And that an estimated 500,000 Black people have been displaced by gentrification in this country. So while I don't really care what the folks in Arkansas do, I still want us to keep that in mind when it comes to building Black things, that if we were to do the exact same thing, and not from a place of hate, but just from a place of survival, there would be legislation, there would be destruction, or there would end up being gentrification. Okay, thanks, bye.
I feel like this might be a hot take about that community in Arkansas, where they're building an all-whites town. No Blacks, no Jews, no gays. I sincerely hope it works out, right? Like I hope you all do so well, and I hope more people who think like you move there. I want you guys to segregate and isolate yourselves. I'm sick of having to figure out who does and does not like me simply based off the color of my skin. Knowing that there is a specific town to avoid, that saves me so much trouble in the long run. I wish you all nothing but thoughts, tariffs, prayers, and nothing but the best. Like I'm hoping it truly works out for you guys. And I'm hoping that you all get a lot of like-minded individuals in that town with you, and you can all be successful together. Like I want nothing but the best for you people. I want you to isolate yourselves. I don't want to have to play guessing games about where I should and shouldn't be. Sundown towns, like there are specific towns that I will not drive through between Texas and Louisiana at night, simply because, I'm not sure if I should stop there. That's one place in Arkansas that I know I will never have to go, and I know I should not be there. Keep me out, keep people like me out. I hope it works out for you all.
Oh, let them build a white-only community in Arkansas. They'll find out. They'll find out how bored they are. I mean, without Mexican, indigenous, Black, Asian influences, like, what are they even doing? Like, just eating mayonnaise and listening to country music, I guess? Like, I'd be really worried about the kids in that community, though, right? Like, they're going to become the entertainment in an evil sort of way. But other than that, just let them have their experiment. They'll find out.
And the reason why that whites only community that they have in Arkansas and it's now going to Missouri does not surprise me, because I know about sundown towns. Yeah, they do exist. I just seen a video of a lady talking about the state of Oregon, and she just realized it's a sundown state. Not a town, but a state. Less than 2% of its population are Black people. So yeah, now the rules and laws of these whites only cities or towns that they're building is that all of the women have to stay home and take care of the children in the community collectively while the men go to work. This is probably going to open the door for some weird ass shit. I promise you. I'm almost positive that they're going to have their own little rules. They're going to be marrying off girls at young ages or whatever with girls at young ages. They're going to push younger girls to be fruitful and whatnot because they don't want them to go to school. They probably won't be going to public school. They probably will have them homeschooled just so they could keep their traditional lives. And now I just wish the sundown towns would announce themselves as well. Just say it. Just admit that you're a sundown town, because it's not all right when a Black person is traveling or a person of color is traveling in the wee hours of the morning or the night trying to get from point A to point Z, but they have to travel through point B, C, D, and E, but they never get there because they're at a sundown town. You know what I'm saying? Like, I really couldn't care less. And I understand the ramifications that because it's going to go to court, if the courts approve this could just pop up everywhere. But again, we have sundown towns. They already exist.
Don't nobody give a fuck about that all-white community. Y'all can keep it. We never need that. Ain't nobody ever care to go to Arkansas.
Oh, y'all seen that video of the white-only town that's going to be in Arkansas? And then how they keep saying Black people care so much or Black people don't like it. Why y'all lying, boo-boo? What? Don't nobody give a fuck. No, nobody care about that, bro. But it got me thinking, like, why do they? It's like, why do y'all want us to care so much, right? And I think it's because they think that we should hate that so much, like, oh, but because a lot of white people believe that we was fighting for integration, we was fighting for respect. Trees are saying we could do us over here, y'all do over there, but trees with respect. But they thought it was like, oh, they want to be like this with us, so that's one reason I think they think that we'll be mad about it, right? Which, like I said, baby, hold your hand with a neck in between. We do not care, right? Another thing is they projecting, because if it was a black only town, they would give so much fucks. They would be like, what they got going on? The history shows itself that they just all up in the business, right?
But let's go back to the white town. Proud of them. Do your thing. Matter of fact, your motto should be, once you go in, don't ever come out. And everybody should join you. By all means, go right ahead. Don't come asking for no good old Southern food. Don't go asking for no good old Chinese food, Mexican food, none of that. Keep it all white, flavorless, and everything. By all means. You definitely can't have no music, but don't worry, because you ain't got no rhythm. But keep it white. By all means.
So I am very curious to see how this turns out, because I'm not even surprised, to be sincere. We all know that sundown towns still exist till today. So this to me is just like an extended version of a sundown town. So my black people, please drink your water, mind your business. This is none of our business, but let's be safe out there. If you're the kind of person that, travel a lot, maybe you're in the trucking business or whatever, be very careful. I do not recommend even finding yourself anywhere close to a community like this, because do I need to say anything more? As a black person in America, you should know what it is when you are in a predominantly white area as a black person, especially those who willingly segregated themselves and went to a whole different town so that they can be away from people that do not look like them. Even palm color people are in the comment section saying they definitely will not feel safe in a town filled with only white people. A lot of palm color people have admitted on several occasions that they feel even safer in black people's spaces than spaces with only palm color people. So need I say more? Anyway, you guys let me know what you think in the comment section. Did you hear about this white only town? What are your thoughts on it? Thanks for watching. Please don't forget to give this video a thumbs up, subscribe if you haven't, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye.
Welcome everybody to our first meeting of our newly established whites only town. Thank you all for being here. First order of business, we need to pick a name. Do I have any ideas? Yes. Whitopia. I don't like it, that's stupid. Any other ideas? Yes. Imbredia. That just rolls off the tongue, doesn't it? Imbredia. I like it. All in favor. Imbredia it is. Thank you. Okay, next thing we need to discuss is, since it is only us whites, we have to decide who we're going to blame when everything goes wrong for us. Any ideas? Yes. Joe Biden. Always a great choice. However, I am looking for someone within the Imbredia community. Yes. Bill. Is Bill that fellow with just that one tooth? I like that. I think Bill would be a good choice. Everyone in favor? Excellent, Bill, it shall be. Oh, Bill, sit your gummy ass mouth down. You're going to be the reason for all our problems. All right, how about some laws within Imbredia? Anybody? Yes. Marrying cousins. I don't know why you would even ask that. Of course you can marry your cousins. Many of those who will be joining us already have cousin wives and cousin husbands. Okay, I think that about wraps it up for me today. I'm pretty tired and I need a cigarette. Next time we will continue discussing what laws we will establish in our great Imbredia. Thank y'all so much. Welcome everybody to the second meeting of our newly established Imbredia, a whites only town. Today I would like to discuss what laws we would like to see put in place. Do I have any ideas? Yes. No seasoning on chicken, absolutely no seasoning on chicken. I always say when it comes to chicken, the more white, the more right. In fact, if you boil your chicken, you can get it even whiter. So I would strongly recommend that. Do we have any other ideas? Yes. No vaccines. Well, that's a gimme, Bill, you fucking idiot. If it can't be healed with ivermectin, then we will just die. We can make polio great again. Do I have any other ideas? Yes, we need a flag. I couldn't agree more. And in fact, I've been keeping something secret from y'all, something I've been working real hard on. I hope you like it as much as I do. This is my suggestion for the new Imbredia flag. You see, here we have the United States flag. We have a jar of mayo. What could represent us better? That's right, Linda, potato salad with raisins. The only way to eat a potato salad. Thank you all so much. All in favor of making this the new Imbredia flag? Excellent. This shall be our new flag. Thank you all so much. I'm getting tired and I need a smoke, so we're going to go ahead and adjourn this meeting. Next time, I want you to think about what kind of establishments you would like to see in Imbredia. Thank y'all so much.